Welcome to Frame by Frame, and here we are again. Andy, what are you doing, Andy?
What's that light in the sky? You see it over there? It's getting bigger.
Oh my God, yeah. It must be a helicopter or something.
It's not making any noise.
I can hear a purring noise. That's just my ears. Ah! Oh!
What's that ringing?
Jeez, man.
Blood coming out your nose.
Oh God! Oh my God! Oh God!
You talking to me?
Did you have a brain tumor for breakfast?
Then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like a clown. You know,
I'm Peter Venkman. We all go a little mad sometimes.
Man that doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
damn.
I'm kind of a big deal.
First rule of my club is do not talk about life.
Yeah, baby.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Oh. Whoa.
Oh no, my head.
Is this a restaurant? Again? Oh, I'm not again. What?
What just happened, man? What?
I think we've just been abducted by aliens.
What? No, Andy, we can't do that. We can't do it twice. We've been abducted already by Spice Girls.
It's not our fault though, is it? No one asked for these things.
But Mark Maron doesn't have to deal with this kind of shit.
He's got talent.
And a garage. Maybe maybe we should just start locking our garage.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Or garage in British.
Shit, man. So where are we? What is this place?
So it's a restaurant called the Tiramisu.
No, that's in Blackpool. We're in Blackpool? No. What's that horrible smell?
Sorry, mate. I got a bit scared.
Oh man.
Well, being as we've just been abducted by aliens.
How do you know we've been abducted by aliens?
Well, there's aliens all around us.
This is they're not in costume. Are you sure? Is that real? Oh, jeez. Oh God.
Yeah,
It's real. Okay, but this is a restaurant. These are aliens. Andy, this doesn't make any sense.
Right, there's restaurants in the second Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy novel.
Right, okay.
The restaurants at the end of the universe.
I'm so glad that we're making sense of this by going through film references.
Yeah.
This is so going to help us.
Well, while we're here,
Yeah.
should we talk about alien abduction films?
I suppose we'll have to now. Alien abduction episodes. First of all, what is going to happen to us here?
I have absolutely not. We're probably going to... Well, it actually looks like they just want to feed us.
This is actually a restaurant called Tiramisu, run by aliens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere
Did you
in
make
the,
some
in the
sort
galaxy.
of? Did you make some sort of reservation for us?
No, I didn't know this was going to happen.
I don't know. So Andy, I think this is suspect. Something's going on. So, okay, we better pass the time between courses, I guess.
Yeah.
So, do you have any alien abduction films that you want to talk about?
What I can think of is Fire in the Sky.
That's an alien abduction film.
It is.
That is pretty much the...
There's a Terminator in it.
Oh, there is, yes.
Yeah.
A shaggy dog tail of a Terminator.
Yeah, indeed. So what do you think of Fire in the Sky?
Fire in the Sky. It came out 1993, I think.
Yeah.
Roughly. I remember it coming out on video.
Just after the X-Files had exploded.
I was extremely excited when this first came out on video. To rent.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember those days?
Video rental. We had a video rental store down in the village.
Yeah.
And we used to just go there and yeah, it was just basically somebody's house with a shop underneath. It was weird. They don't do that anymore.
No, we had a similar one.
Corporate
and
greed.
It always smelled strange.
Yeah,
There was something seedy about a video store. I don't know why. Maybe it was the backdoor ones my dad took me to get his fill of porn.
Oh yeah. I mean, everybody's kind of running to the cinema to watch 50 Shades of Grey, and and you know, I think we should tell them about films like Crash, 1990, Cronenberg, and all these horrible
Secretary,
and the Spanish film. No, sorry, the Serbian film. I think the Spanish film. What are they called?
Yeah, it's very different than the Serbian film.
But Fire in the Sky was a film I was really looking forward to, and saying, you know, I'm going to say back in the day. That expression. It seemed like a really affable, a good film about alien abduction theory.
Right.
Okay.
But I've watched it recently. It seems a coincidence that I've watched quite a few alien abduction films, and then we get abducted by aliens.
And this is why I'm suspicious, Andy.
Yeah, it's strange. Maybe they've been keeping track on what I've been watching.
Yeah.
And I thought, we need to take him.
And you
for a meal.
For a meal.
In the galaxy somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I recently watched it, and it was very daytime TV, Hallmarky, very...
Imagine Hallmark? Really? Imagine
just the acting is what I mean by it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you wouldn't get a Hallmark alien abduction. Well, maybe you would, I don't know.
Yeah. From what I remember, it was a very hammy script.
Yeah.
Even though, like I say, I was 13 years old when I came out, and
When you came out?
When the film came out.
Oh, right.
I'm happily married with a child.
Doesn't mean anything these days.
No. Michael Barrymore. Yeah, but yeah, it was a hammy script. But back in the day, it was all about the alien abduction scenes, and I think that's exactly what the filmmakers had in mind. They didn't care what was wrapped around it. They just wanted to get to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they actually do serve meat and potatoes here. I'm not looking forward to what I'm going to see on my plate.
Don't judge.
Okay, alien cuisine.
You don't know. It could be. You know what they like for messing with cows.
Yeah.
There's probably, I think it's just steak here, isn't
Probably
it?
what it is. Yeah, I didn't really think about that. But yeah, the acting. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, actors, people are very quick to kind of blame the acting. It was like, oh, the acting in this movie was terrible.
Is your name Gregory Thomas Hayes?
Yes.
But what if it was actually the direction and the script that's supporting them? Maybe they are actually good enough.
The actors don't seem to be invested into the film.
Yes, but then was anybody invested in those kind of supernatural films back in the 90s, early 90s? I mean, name a Stephen King film like Langoliers and tell me that they were invested.
Yeah, they're all very similar.
Kind of just shallow. It's always on the surface. They're not quite
But
sure.
Isn't it the director's job to get the actors invested in it?
I think so, but I think that if you're looking at the era of these types of films, I mean, there wasn't a lot of groundbreaking supernatural sci-fi around at that time. I mean, it was. I think it was a little bit tired. Maybe the genre was very tired. Of course,
with the X-Files exploding around that time, though, you'd think
that people
this is the time to really start hitting it.
Yeah, maybe they were kind of just dragging their heels a bit with this one, and it was just one of those, unfortunately, one of those things. They just missed the whole X-Files boat. Although Chris Carter certainly didn't, because he saw Robert Patrick's performance. Maybe he saw him and just thought, well, he needs work. We'll put him in.
Yeah, but it's a good 8 years before Robert Patrick started the X-Files. You know, the X-Files was like 2000, wasn't it?
Yeah. So there must have been a few other films that they must have, seen. Hello, vacuum cleaner.
Oh, Alien doing a bit of vacuuming there.
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those strange alien type things that goes on in these types of restaurants. I don't know. Just what are they vacuuming?
What are those fluffy things in Star Trek called?
Tribbles.
Vacuum up tribbles.
It's exhausting being abducted by aliens.
It is. I didn't put it into my day at all. I didn't plan for this. So yeah, because obviously the X-Files is based on an abduction, isn't it? Mulder's sister, Samantha.
Yeah.
gets abducted, and that's his.
It's in the background of pretty much everything that happens in the X-Files.
Yeah.
And
tribbles.
We have triplets in our house. The cats have little fluffy balls.
Yeah.
But they took off our rugs. They had these rugs that had balls on them.
Right. Right, so far you've come out, we've talked about meat and 2 veg and now balls.
Oh my god.
There must be an implant in your nose that's making you do that.
It was badly written.
Yes.
I gotta say, Fire in the Sky was badly written.
It based on alleged true events. Have you ever read the Fire in the Sky book?
No, but Travis Walton, he's talked about it enough in various interviews, and you can't help but just listen to the same story over and over again. You think, oh, do I have to watch that?
See, because I kind of remember. I'm not sure if it's Fire in the Sky. I'm sure that I can't be sure if it was that book, but I thought it was when I was reading it.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense. It was a long time ago, and it was about they were driving, and there was literally something in the sky. It was following them as they were driving, and I just remember the book scaring me. That night, I was freaked out. You know what I mean? And expecting at any minute to be abducted by an alien.
Really?
Yeah. I was as a kid.
Impressionist.
I was a little bit. I was an impressionist.
You were very impressionable.
I should have mailed it to the Marx Brothers.
You were very impressionable young lad.
Yeah, I think it was.
That's it.
Yeah, but it's sort of staying on the subject. I'm going to talk about it. When I used to be in the Cubs when I was a kid.
Yeah.
One night we all went to sleep.
Yes.
We woke up the following morning, and we'd all exchanged places. So, say the guy who was sleeping opposite me was now in my bed, and he was where I was.
Okay.
It was like a mirror image of where we'd all slept.
Weird.
Yeah, we'd all woke up because you slept with your head on a rucksack.
Yeah, yeah.
And we all woke up with our heads on the wrong rucksack, all of us. But it was like the mirror image of we'd all gone to sleep.
That's odd. That's very odd.
Yeah, that's happened.
Because your imagination can play with you then and start thinking, wait a second. I mean, were you taken and then put
that's
back?
the thing, you know what I mean?
But you know,
the reality of it is probably, the scout leader might have moved us all for a laugh, but it would have been very difficult to do.
Yeah, but you can do it with babies, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sleeping babies, you might be able to get away with it. But how old were you? Like 12, 13?
No, I don't think I was younger than that. I was probably about 8, maybe.
Okay, so a scout leader went in and started going one by one to every single 8-year-old's bed.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
Moving us.
Moving. So yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that there isn't other traumas that you could be enduring right there, but
just worth noting though, it was a strange thing.
It was just an odd thing, yeah.
Yeah, and it was around then where I was obviously getting a fascination with sci-fi and alien and stuff, and I remember just thinking, were we abducted? And we were all talking about it. And the forest that we were all staying in was supposedly haunted as well, so we weren't sleeping heavily.
This was back in like 1986, 87. So there weren't really that. I mean, the Close Encounters of the Third Kind probably would have been your strongest reference. That and E.T. maybe.
Yeah. Because that's it, yeah. Because once I started watching alien abduction films, I retrospectively thought back of that. I thought, hang on.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, because it didn't seem to be that there were that many films about alien abduction.
No.
Documentaries, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, every single channel on this planet has churned out some kind of a UFO alien abduction Betty and Bob story,
Yeah, but a lot of these films are always based on true stories. It's
but then it's based on somebody's account of a story.
What's your views on alien abduction then? Let's talk about that.
Well, considering our circumstances right now,
but take this out. Say this never happened.
Okay.
As being abducted by aliens, what would you thought? Say.
Okay.
An hour ago, what would have been your views on alien abduction?
Well, two parts of this. There's the first part that I do not think that we're alone in the universe.
Oh, absolutely not.
I mean, that's for certain. But human arrogance would assume that we would be the center of the universe, and unfortunately, we keep on proving ourselves wrong every step of the way. Whether we're in reach of another race, I don't know that. Whether I think that people are actually seeing UFOs and being abducted by aliens, I seriously doubt it. My theory is that if there are aliens here, I'm sure that they would be advanced enough to have figured out how to not let us remember, first of all. And second of all, they wouldn't be seen. They would not be flying around in broad daylight or even at night with light shining down on cattle. I seriously think that if there is anything out there, that nobody will actually have a clue about the truth of what's out there.
We've seen countless videos though of things like there's that famous one where there's it looks like there's a craft approaching the Earth. It's like a satellite. They see a flash come from the Earth, and all of a sudden the craft just darts off in the opposite direction, and a missile comes out of the planet, or what could perceive to be a missile.
Yeah.
What's all that about?
I don't know. I'm getting interference on my headset.
So I'm gonna. Yeah. That's the aliens.
Must be the aliens. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that? Do you want a coffee?
Coffee? Really? Coffee?
Yes.
Really? You sure?
Yeah.
You sure it's gonna be coffee?
Yeah, we just said coffee. I'll have a coffee, no sugar, do you want sugar?
Do you have sugar?
Yeah, sugar.
Sure. Okay. Sugar. Yes.
Two, none for me, thanks.
Oh my god.
So,
I'm not drinking that.
You'll offend them, they might suck your brains out. Alright, so go back to Fire in the Sky then. So the scenes that matter are the abduction scenes.
Yeah, it seems
and they are
like
the only parts that are done well.
Yeah,
really.
They are. I mean, I think that's probably where all the production value went in. I mean, I'm sure that they sold the idea based on that whole sequence.
Yeah.
The production company would have said, you give me that, you give me an alien abduction experience, you can have your movie. And I think that's probably what everybody was sold on. But I just think that they just didn't have enough to fill it around the edges.
Right.
Yeah, really. The alien abduction sequences were okay, but we've seen so much since then that are either better or done differently.
Yeah. And the sort of the violence of it.
Yeah.
I don't think it would, I don't feel it would be like that.
I'm hoping not. Well, in this situation, yes, I can totally. Yeah, let's hope it's not like that. But yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, it just seems to be the one thing that people gravitate towards is the idea that you will. I mean, everybody makes a joke about anal probes.
Yeah.
And it seems to be the thing that rolls off everybody's tongue. Yeah, I mean, that's just one of those things that people just associate with aliens.
Yeah.
And the whole image of an alien. But that's the problem. This is why I have a problem with people remembering the same same images of aliens and drawing the same images of aliens. It's so ingrained in our culture that you just basically adding to a pile. You're adding to a stockpile of the same thing.
Well, the aliens have been talked about for thousands of years.
Yeah, and
this is the thing, isn't it? So you've got like ancient hieroglyphs that speak of like a fiery chariot coming over the ocean and landing and stuff.
Exactly, and we've got those religious paintings of lights in the skies and different.
Yeah, because there's a tapestry, isn't it? And behind a woman's head, you can see like a little ship in the sky.
Yeah.
So have we been visited? And it's been happening for thousands of years, and it's only now they have to be more clandestine because of our technology.
Possibly.
Our paranoia.
But then I think that if we went to an alien planet, we as ourselves, in our current state of emotional growth and state of intelligence, we would be so fucking covert. Excuse my French. We would be so covert. We would not dream. We'd have that duck blind mentality where we would find the best way to actually go unseen.
Yeah.
Take that intelligence to a slightly high. It doesn't have to be ultrasonic levels of intelligence, but take it to a slightly higher degree of humanity. Surely they wouldn't be making that mistake.
Maybe not.
I can't imagine that these are just stupid little goofball aliens just joyriding around our planet for the hell of it. And I mean, but who knows? But then by now we would have actually had one to talk to. We would have had something would have happened by now that would have actually. I mean, Roswell is just. I think it's because of the hype. Everybody talks about Roswell, and I can't believe I just brought it up. But Roswell is the only thing that you can talk about, apparently, when it comes to alien abductions and visitors from other planets. Yeah. So, yeah, I kind of just feel very. And we're going to be talking about this in more depth, of course, when we talk about, because I think it'll be good for us to talk about the documentaries.
It's something I always find very interesting.
It fascinates me as well.
Even if it's just a condition that people have, that they feel they've been abducted. The whole idea of an anal probe is very
abstract in a way.
Yeah, really, it's like
it's just an idea.
Something awful happened, and
but there's
this
no reason
is my way
for
of dealing with it.
Yeah.
And,
but there's no reason for an anal probe to actually, because people mention being probed, but they never actually say what, why, how, who. They just mention that part.
And if you've got an advanced race, where can I stick a probe that it'll stay there and not come out? Up your poop chute is not the correct place.
No,
because you'll be pushing it out sooner or later.
Doesn't really make sense.
Exactly, yeah.
Unless it is the route to all. Every road goes to Rome. It just so happens that's
Rome's up your ass.
Rome is right there up your ass. But yeah, it troubles me because, like with Ghost, you get so many people who exploit it.
Yeah.
And for my money, I've kind of I think there's just too many things to look at now that it just becomes overwhelming, and it's like, well, there's nothing we can do about it. They even tried to do a TV show where they had, like with the ghost hunters, they tried to do UFO hunters. Yeah. And I'm like, well, what are you going to do? Just sit out
in a field
and wait.
Yeah.
Wait for someone to come down and say hi.
I'm going to admit to something now.
Okay.
I did that once.
You actually stayed out overnight?
There's a group called Tameside Paranormal. They're not around anymore. They got in touch with me, so I thought I'll come around to a few meetings, and it was discussing about haunted houses, things like that. I just added my 10 pence in. And they were doing a night where they were going to a UFO hotspot. That concept is alien to me. Hey. But I went along anyway, and it was just that. It was 6 hours of just looking up at the sky.
And there might have been a shooting star, maybe, or was it just not clear?
Oh, it was clear. It was a clear night. I'm not sure if we even saw a shooting star, but it was just that. No one talked. It was just looking up, and then, did you hear that? I was like, it was a UFO. You're not going to hear anything, mate. And it was a bizarre night. I'm glad I did it. It was an experience, but it was a bizarre night.
Yeah, that's taking the whole ghost hunt and putting it into the context of a UFO hunt.
Exactly.
You can't do. They're two different things. But yeah, they're just two different things, and keep it separate, But unfortunately, people kind of group the two entities together. Excuse the. Fire in the Sky. It's an okay film, but it's not really. I mean, for some reason, these films that were being made didn't really kind of hit the mark.
Yeah, I think one that did hit the mark was Communion.
Yes.
wasn't a dream.
There's a group that meets.
Group?
People who've seen the same sort of things you have.
Which group of aliens abducted you?
Bob, we are not victims. We are participants.
I don't recall them being human.
I've got to go, my baby's screaming!
You people, you sit there, you're in for one big surprise.
That was a little bit earlier than Fire in the Sky. That was a precursor.
Oh, was it? Right.
Yeah, I think it was it 1989, 1990? I don't have internet in this alien restaurant called Tiramisu.
I can't believe we don't have Wi-Fi here.
But incidentally, by the way, tiramisu means take me up.
Really?
It's Italian for take me up, yeah. It's to lift me up to a higher place. But I could see why they named it tiramisu.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
That's quite good.
It's really good.
They know Italian.
They know Italian.
They probably know everything.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, Communion was also based on somebody's book.
Yeah. But what I liked about this is they didn't try to make the aliens look real.
No, they didn't. The
line between it being fake and real is, is if this is just something he's imagined or is it something that actually happened.
Yeah, exactly.
It's prominent all the way through the film.
Exactly, and it was not very organic aliens. They were just very, very almost man-made construct.
Yeah.
Which is perfect because that's what he is. I mean, he's a writer, isn't he, the guy?
He is, yeah.
Is he a journalistic writer or a fiction writer?
I think he's a fiction writer.
And that's why he was kind of going into himself, doing his thing.
Yeah.
He had these scenes where he's really... I mean, that's Christopher Walken, though. I can imagine that the director had no control over him throughout that film. There seems to be endless scenes of him just improvising.
Yeah, definitely.
And then all of a sudden he just gets told to, okay, Chris, can you just come in and start reading the script?
Yeah,
so
but I love those scenes where he's having a party with the aliens. And...
Yes, exactly, because it's so Lynch.
Yeah,
it's so and you kind of just enjoy spending time with Christopher Walken. You don't care. Yeah. It's just fun to watch him just do his thing.
Yeah, and there was a few little shot moments. The three, I think we discussed it. Yeah, when Head just comes at him.
Yes,
and you're expecting it. Yeah, I remember getting a few chills when I saw that for the first time.
Yeah, I think the whole alien peering around the door thing was quite chilling at the time. And,
absolutely.
Because it's but they went into it pretty fast. They didn't wait. There was really not a lot of time spent kind of just finessing the characters. They just went to the cabin in the woods.
Yeah, your favourite thing.
Cabin in the frickin' woods. And they went with that weird guy. They looked like a creative bunch of professionals. They weren't exactly, quite older people just going for a big gathering together. It almost could be construed as a kind of a strange...
The thing they always do in these films is the floodlight always switches on outside.
Yeah. And we've kind of played with that in our own writing.
Yeah.
By actually just going on the nose and just having a floodlight.
Yeah. But I mean, and it's another thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's just another thing. Like, if their technology is that advanced to literally just steal someone out of a house and wipe all the memory and put them back, why are they switching the floodlight on?
Why exactly that?
I just get an idea of just like this alien who's got all this brilliant technology called Kev. It's like you're creeping in. It's like, Kev, you switched the floodlight on again. Oh shit! Every damn time.
I know.
Why do we have to pick houses with floodlights? Kev, just get the guy out there, come back, and we can go back into the Milky Way for a night. Stop complaining. Stop switching the floodlight on. All right, Kev. All right. That'd be funny.
Exactly.
I'm gonna write that.
Okay, Kevin the alien.
Kev the alien
who accidentally flies across cities without realising that he's got his lights on. And, yeah.
He's probably just one alien who keeps getting caught.
It's the same fucking alien. Kev the alien is just everywhere. Why not? Let's just do that. That's our theory. It's Kevin.
Yeah, Kev the alien.
Kev the alien, and he's just really stupid.
Yeah.
he just hasn't got a clue. And yeah, sometimes he brings his friends, his goofball friends, and for band practice. And that's why sometimes you see streaks of 6 or 8.
Because, like sea lions, right?
Yeah.
Bear with me on this. Whoever found out the sea lions are good with balls, right? They're brilliant with balls, aren't they?
Yeah.
But you never see one sea lion that's really crap with a ball. He's like, kicks him over to me, oh, sorry, it's not my thing. He's trying to, he's bumbling around. Maybe...
True.
So maybe Kev the alien is just the one bad sea lion.
Is this your 5%?
Is it?
I think that's really good. That's really freaking hell. He's just that one alien who's just bad at everything. Bad at abducting. He's lousy at it. He just drops people.
Kev, why are you sticking things up his arse? We don't need to do that. Yeah, but I'm putting a probe up there. He's just going to shit it out. No, trust me, it'll work this time.
It's old school. it's an old wives' tale that you're not supposed to use.
Yeah, we've not done that since Jesus was around here.
You mean Alexandria?
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't like that name.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, reference to the Billy Myers case. You see,
Yeah,
we're very into aliens and abductions and things like that, and not UFOs. But like I say, I'm always on the fence because they always just forget to take me.
Actually, going back to Communion, do you remember the anal probe bit in that?
Oh,
because it was all jokey, and he sat there butt naked, isn't he, Christopher Walken?
Oh yeah.
And it sort of comes up to him, and then just you don't see it obviously, but it implies what you've done, and it switches. Then he's like, "How dare you? How dare you?" And all of a sudden, this sort of fun light dream sequence he's having, suddenly just turned really dark.
That's it. Yeah, it was when at the party, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
And at the end of the party, and all of a sudden, that guy comes in who looks just like him.
Yeah.
And starts doing magic. I just think it's bizarre because it's just so not what you expect from a. I mean, if that was your alien abduction story, and I doubt that it was. I don't think that this guy wrote that. I think he did say that he thought that Christopher Walken went a little bit batshit crazy with his characterization.
Right.
And Christopher Walken replied to him, "Well, if the shoe fits."
That's the worst Christopher Walken impression ever.
Hey, if the shoe fits.
Have you heard Bradley Cooper's Christopher Walken?
No, but
it's amazing.
He's an amazing guy too, by the way. I mean, he's like the most authentic guy. He is what you think he is, which is a different thing for a lot of people. But
right.
But one particular thing was I was very intimidated by him too, by the way, because he's not the normal guy who's like, "Hey, how you doing?" It's not like that. He just sort of sits there in the makeup chair and he's like, "Pineapple." I like to eat it. And I'm like,
I can't get it.
everybody's got to walk him. Everybody's got to walk him.
That's a very good one, yeah. And he does love pineapple, yeah.
And he had this dancing scene. God help me for saying this, but he had this dancing scene with Rachel McAdams.
In the movie,
in the movie. It was our first. It was my first day, his first day, and it just looked beautiful on the monitor. And she came up to me afterwards. God, you're dancing with Christopher Walken because Penny's in from heaven.
Right,
he's a great dancer. She said, he keeps saying fart.
What?
Just to keep it light. You know what I mean? It's like, fart. Fart. And she was dancing.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, and I've heard it all.
And if you look at the monitor, he's just sort of dancing. He's like, fart, I'm farting. I'm farting. And it was sort of beautiful.
Very strange.
Yeah. But the thing is, this film also started his dancing career with Fatboy Slim, Weapons of Choice. There's a whole scene of him just dancing around.
Yeah.
And I just made me think this is why Fatboy Slim wanted him for the Weapons of Choice video, which is by far my favourite music video ever.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
I love it, and it's just Christopher Walken. I mean, anything he's in, I enjoy. He's not safe. To me, he's not one of those people who, when I see on the screen, I feel safe, but I feel warm and fuzzy instead. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's not safe. It's excitement, isn't it? What's he gonna do?
What's he gonna do? He's gonna talk about putting I have this watch up my ass the whole time. I mean, come on. Have you seen him in Annie Hall?
Avi.
Hi, Dwayne. How's it going?
This is my room.
Oh, yeah? It's terrific.
Can I confess something? I tell you this because, as an artist, I think you'll understand. Sometimes when I'm driving on the road at night, I see two headlights coming toward me. Fast, I have this sudden impulse to turn the wheel quickly, head on into the oncoming car. I can anticipate the explosion, the sound of shattering glass, the flames rising out of the flowing gasoline.
Right. Well, I have to go now, Dwayne, because I'm due back on the planet Earth.
And I just think just to drive right into the headlights.
And then it's
the next scene is just in the car.
He's driving him home, and he's like, "Shit, that fucking scene is so mental. I love it."
But then, is it King of New York?
I have not seen that film,
but he's very brilliant. He's very good in it.
Dark
he's dark and tame.
Yeah,
know, he can pull it back when he has to.
Well, Prophecy was dark as well. I mean, this was around about the same time as Fire in the Sky, Prophecy, and all these kind of dark kind of King of, what was it called? King of New York.
New York, yeah.
Wasn't that around about the same time?
I think it could have been.
Because I just
obviously he's in a Deer Hunter, and he's incredible in that.
The Deer Hunter is not the data, but the is probably one of the most heartbreaking films.
Oh yeah.
That I ever watched. I've never ever sobbed through credits so hard in my life. And I tell you what, if you get the DVD and you listen to Mike Cimino doing his commentary, throughout the whole, he's welling up the whole way through, and you're just breaking with him. It's heartbreaking. That film, there's nothing you can do with that film but just be totally in love with wishing those people well and just wanting them to be such a cool group of guys.
Yeah.
That pub scene where they're singing Frankie Valli.
Yeah.
Oh man, didn't you just want to be there?
I did. I'm glad I wasn't though. I would have done well in them.
Well, that's another story. That's another podcast.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that with you sometime. But how well would you do in Nam? Would you do better than Alien Abduction?
I think I'd probably end up going the Christopher Walken way and just lost it.
Yeah,
just totally lost it.
I think I'll go in the Stephen route and just lose my legs.
Yeah.
I think I would have been in a wheelchair.
And then you would have milked it, wouldn't you? Oh, Stephen with no legs. He's back again. We feel sorry for him.
I want to write. It's all about it's all about the writing then. I've got hands left. Yeah. And that's it. I'd be such a bad vet. I'd be fucking terrible. God, do you know what?
You're good with animals.
What?
Anyway, aliens.
Something else to cut out before we insult the entire 50-plus age group of our demographic in America.
Oh no, we just we
love those GIs. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I like Communion. I think it's a good effort.
It is a good effort. My only problem with it again is I didn't like the Jim Henson. If I want
the small troll
that's the only thing that kind of threw me out the movie. But the fact that Christopher Walken went over and just gave him a big snog was kind of like to me that made me think, he doesn't even take them seriously. I'm happy with that.
That's another thing I have. If you've got another race that's evolved on another planet with different gravity, different biology, whatever it might be, it could be an arsenic-based life form. We don't know. And they all look sort of human-like, but they wouldn't. It would be something that you couldn't anthropomorphize human figures, and they just wouldn't be. If they've evolved in a completely different area, they could look like a sponge, or they'd look like a door mixed with a rat. It'd just be something that you couldn't even possibly imagine.
It could look like Dudley Moore.
It could look like Dudley Moore.
Yeah, but that's the one thing that everybody kind of is touching upon now. That's why, so ever since Starship Troopers, maybe that aliens have kind of been kind of this insect-like, and they've basically pushed towards insects. Even though I still think that's the wrong way to go. There's got to be some sort of middle ground somewhere. But But people are only using their imagination. This isn't based on what is possibly out there. There is the distant origin theory, which is the idea that human seed has been spread around the universe.
Yeah.
And that kind of that
my seed has. Been everywhere.
But unfortunately, they didn't think about that until 40 years into Star Trek's. Because I think every single episode was some sort of a costume of some kind. Yeah. That apart from one episode in Star Trek, the original series, where they actually did have a big husk of animal that they did communicate with.
Right.
And even flying pizzas at one time that attached to you. So they did try, but the thing is, TV has always been on a budget, so the majority of the aliens you're going to recognise are humanoid because that's what they had to work with. Yeah, and then there's within like ufology circles, they do believe, a lot of them believe that we were a part of a seed. We were from them. They sort of created our race thousands and thousands of years ago as a sort of experiment. So we're sort of based on them, but we've evolved differently because of our circumstances, so we don't look like them now. Yeah, so I like that idea. Yeah. I like the idea that we are here because of, I mean, that previously this planet has been inhabited many times before by different alien species, and that it's actually we're actually renting this space. Yeah, there's a great Graham Hancock book, I think, called Chariots of the Gods. I think it's that one, which hypothesizes that there was very technologically advanced races thousands of years ago. Yeah, tens of thousands of years ago that got wiped out, and then we sort of evolved from that. And I think that there's a race of aliens that are responsible for cleanup crew because they did a bloody good job of getting rid of as much evidence as they could. Yeah. And I think that sometimes when you have rental schemes where the tenants leave and they leave everything behind and it's a complete mess, and they don't have time to move somebody in, and they come in and they kind of notice a few flaws. I think that was our race that came in after the last race, the Egyptians, or that there are certain things that have been left behind as to say, well, why is that there? Because we talk about the pyramids, we couldn't build the pyramids now. We don't have a crane strong enough to lift that top slab onto the top of the pyramids now. So who did that? Yeah, a few people with a few winches. I don't think so. Didn't they have like a pyramid growing plant thing that just grew the... Wasn't it grown? No. But maybe, I mean, they say that there is also water erosion involved, and that maybe they actually had huge tanks surrounding the building, and they basically filled the tank up for every level while they were building it so that they could float. Wild as it may seem... So they could float those last pointy bits. Well, if you just think for a second, what if... Because our species was very hunter-gathering, and then over the space, very quickly, the space of a few hundred years, we just jumped. Yeah. Like, we've our technology, as what we could do. The short amount of time that we've actually been from, like you say, from the moment that we were hunter-gatherers. Yeah. Then we're living in huts, Iron Age, and further afield, we're just suddenly doing all this incredible stuff. What if we were helped along by something, and that's where all those stories have come from? That's that's deep, man. Yeah. I read a book called The Manna Machine. In the Bible, they talk about that God had given manna, which is what they all ate as a food, and said that's fine, you can always eat that. But the moment you start to eat animals and vegetation again, I'll take that away from you. But this was food. And this book sort of hypothesised that was actually a machine that was brought by an alien civilization. Say, you eat this and that's fine, don't use your resources. But the moment you took your resources, we'll take it away. And it sort of mirrors it in the Bible, where they're using it for so long and then it's just taken away when they start to eat animals and stuff again. Okay. It's an interesting book. Yeah, that sounds something that could, who knows? But So I love conjecture and theory and then the abduction of humans is just to see how we're evolving, what we're like we would do with a gerbil. But that's the most typical reason. That's the most the most logical reason that we can think of as to why they're picking But I do sometimes question their selectiveness.
Yeah, I was just about to say
because
that,
it seems as though that the people who they tend to take are incredibly codependent, withdrawn introvert type people who seem to need something, which is a good cover, to be honest. I mean, if they picked people who were professionals, then people would be believing them more. Why not take a fallen angel, somebody who people will just say, oh, he's just making it up because he's a down person who needs to make attention for themselves. So, there is precedent to say that that's actually a really good idea to choose those people, but at the same time, I just think, we're not going to get much of a range of...
And they tend to be, well, I didn't know I weren't supposed to play golf in a thunderstorm, so I was playing some golf and I get abducted by those aliens and they stick a probe up my butt.
Yeah. They all sound just like that.
Yeah.
No. But then, no, yeah, but you get the nervous ones, and I was just abducted by these grey beings, and then they took me in, and then I gave birth to a child there, and they keep on taking me, and they keep on showing me the development of my child, who is now 22 years old. I was abducted 4 years ago. And
I was there, I saw that baby. I saw it grow with my own 2 eyes.
In my eyes?
In my eyes, I saw that baby grow.
So, yeah, I mean, there's different characterizations that we could do a whole episode of different characters.
I like my UFO guy.
But then it amazes me because, they always... documentaries that really desperately want people to believe, and I think a lot of them do. A lot of people, like you say, the Billy Myers documentaries, people tend to kind of help him along with his
feeding
and kind of feeding the idea of that it's true. And you kind of see that in so many documentaries simply because they always go for somebody who has the highest possible credibility as kind of like their guide to the belief system. It's like he's a pilot for NASA, and he saw it, and if he saw it, then it must be true. This guy flew Pan Am Airlines for 50 years. Oh my God, he must be at home. And he's a family man. He's a Christian man, and he is this, and so he must be credible. This guy is a judge or a police officer. He's a surgeon. Why would he lie?
But then there have been times where there's been multi-sighted UFOs.
Now, those are the ones that people kind of...
There's the ones in New Mexico, wasn't there? When there was literally dozens of lights in the sky behaving.
Buenos Aires and Brazil. A lot of them in South America, it seems.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
It could be government just testing craft.
Yeah.
Or it could be something else.
Or it could be.
I just love the idea that it could be something else.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. It's flirting with the idea of the surface and wanting to go deep and finding something that we ourselves would like to believe.
Yeah.
I think maybe we feel as though when you're watching a film and an actor comes in and you feel safe with.
Yeah.
I think we feel safe knowing that there's extraterrestrials out there who could just suddenly help us out at any time, or switch. Maybe we feel as though that this planet it can't be in charge. The people of this planet can't be in charge. Human race cannot be in charge of this planet. We need something else above us to kind of waggle their finger and come in.
And maybe it's for people like us who don't have a God figure.
True.
To find something else to believe in.
Yeah, true.
That's why I say I don't believe in a God, but I hate atheists. Because they're the ones who'll take any kind of magic away from you.
Yeah, exactly. There's
and it's good to have something. I can't believe in a God, but...
Well, the thing is, I don't understand why people personify a God and why they create this pressure for themselves to behave in a certain way, and to justify acts that negative things in their life by saying it was God's will and this and that, and it's that's life, that kind of thing, and saying, well, obviously I've been cleansed, I'm fine, I've murdered 4 people, but God says it's okay, so I'm okay now.
He's forgiven.
So I mean, I don't understand that kind of stuff. I mean, I like the idea of believing in a core that there is a higher being that can guide us moralistically, to give us guidance, to make us stronger, to make us nice, good neighbours, good people.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you can't have one without the other. You've got to have the good and the bad, and that's probably why religion to me doesn't kind of support my belief system, because there's just too many relaxed rules that just kind of suit everybody's need to just kill and rape and pillage and get away with it.
It's fun time on Frame by Frame, guys.
Wow! Yay! So yeah,
I went to a lecture.
We just lost 10 viewers, by the way.
I went to
Hi, Mom.
I watched a lecture. It was in a library in Abram, right? And it was about UFOs and stuff. And the guy kind of blew my mind a little bit. I'm not sure if it's been disproved yet, but pyramids and Giza sort of follow a mathematical equation about how they're angled together and stuff. The same mathematical equation can be attributed to pyramids in South America and Mexico, and it's the same on Stonehenge and the Easter Island, so it all fit. But not only that, if you put the map of the Earth out flat, the same equation hits
all their positions
globally. The same, because everyone says it's just tricks of light, but there's like allegedly pyramids on Mars. It's the same equation, the pyramids on Mars, but it could just be a trick of the light. But now, that's the thing that blew my mind. There's a face on Mars, isn't there?
Yes.
Which is just they say again, it's just a trick of the light. He put a mirror image of the half of the face of Mars, and it looked like Neolithic man. Then did a mirror image of the other side, and it looked like a lion. And the Sphinx is half man, half lion.
Do you know what I'm sick and tired of seeing? Big fat booty.
Big fat booty.
Have you seen it? The stupid commercial with the guy walking down with his big ass.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm sick and tired of seeing that. Certain things that you want to have. Commercials are supposed to be really clever. My dad said that once. Commercials on television are so good. You should be writing for those. Oh no, you are kidding me.
I hope you showed him the Bill Hicks.
That would blow his mind.
Yeah, if you work for advertising, kill yourself. David Icke.
David Icke, yes, I'm thinking of that freak. David Icke.
David Icke, yeah. David Icke very much believes they're among us. And the thing with David Icke as a character, a lot of what he says, I can kind of roll with. It's just when he starts saying that the royal family are reptilian hybrids that I start to think, oh, okay, all right, David. Like the man, he sold out Wembley Arena.
Yeah, of course he would, and people believe him. People still enjoy Jeremy Kyle, and people go to see these people. People still go to see David.
Icke.
I'm thinking of the other D word, Derek Acora, and
Derek Acora.
Even though they are blatantly full of shit.
Can I tell you a story about David Acora?
Who? David? Derek?
Fucking hell. Derek Acora. We went watching him, me and Mrs. Her indoors, and he walked round the crowd. I can feel him coming around, and he walked behind us, and he was saying something to some woman, and I turned to Tasha and went, what a load of shit. And everyone started laughing, and I wondered why they laughed. I looked, and my face was on the screen because he was stood behind me.
And your mouth was like,
yeah, what a load of shit. And everyone just started laughing, and I was like, and then everyone just started laughing more because I was like, oh no, it was quite embarrassing.
Oh my god!
We were trying to walk out afterwards. I had a mix of people going, "Oh, it was so funny when you said that," and everyone going, "I can't believe you said that about Derek. He's so spot on," But Yeah, it was funny.
People want to believe what they want to believe, and I think that with David Icke, he, for some reason, you can believe people so far, but when they cross that line into craziness, and people are still with them, then they have no reason. There is no reason why these people should have money anyway, that they should be spending it to go on to see that kind of a junk. Because take the money away from them, give it to us.
He spoke a lot about obviously the Illuminati, the government, and how we're slaves, and how the money, the way we're slaves to this monetary system that doesn't work in our favour. It's all right. It's true.
Yeah.
But I don't think the royal family are lizards. So, but because the X-Files took off so well,
yes,
there was a sudden explosion of everyone looking upstairs.
Yeah, and I'm very sorry.
I don't mean upstairs, I mean space, and I mean virtually going, I've just watched the X-Files, I'm going to go look in my bedroom upstairs.
The attic is fascinating.
Yeah, and then get abducted. So I reckon the biggest explosion would have been Independence Day.
Quite possibly, and maybe that film caused that shift in how films were actually dealing with the subject matter.
Yeah, because I remember seeing the first poster for Independence Day at UCI Cinema in Warrington a year before it was going to come out, and just a picture of the planet Earth, the big ship coming towards Earth, was enough to make me, I fucking need to see that film. That film was going to be immense.
It was an immense film, and
because there's an abductee in Independence Day, isn't it? It's Randy Quaid.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's been abducted numerous times, and he gets his own back by.
And then proves me about
the ship.
Yeah, probes the ship. Yeah. So that's just.
I hate that bit. In the words of my generation, up yours, and then puts his thing. It's not a good line.
No, and I think Randy Quaid is, to actually have a humorous character in that film, they could have done better than him.
Yeah, he's all right though.
But he's always National Lampoon.
Yeah,
he's always Christmas Vacation. He's always plugging up the frickin' sewers with his shit.
But like Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich, they never use like main actors.
No.
Or very rarely. They always use like B movie actors at the time. I know Will Smith was obviously a huge thing, but he wasn't famous at that point.
Film put him on the map, really, in terms of.
There was Bad Boys just before it, which he did well, but not obviously.
That wasn't hyped. This was hyped. I mean, Jeff Goldblum was kind of like, he's always been on the fringe of indie, and he's the fly, for heaven's sakes. And and the young kids in the film were Lisa Jacob was in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
She was in that one as well, and she never made film again. And it's I think she has. She's done a few things. She actually played Princess Leia in a short film once in somebody's fantasy as Princess Leia.
Oh, right.
Did that once. It's quite a good little short film. But it kind of just brought about the whole sense of how to film these, how to shoot these films.
Do you know they're making a second one?
Independence Day 2.
Yes.
The 5th of July, or is it going to happen on Black Friday? I think they should do a Black Friday thing and just abduct all those stupid idiots who are running over to grab a TV set.
Yeah.
That'll be a best time to actually hit that market.
Yeah,
get rid of them all. So forget Independence Day, Thanksgiving, day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday.
Yeah,
they should just call it Black Friday.
Black Friday, that'd be good.
Abductions, yeah.
But what I'm trying to think is what they're going to do with it.
The day after Turkey.
What are you going to do with Independence Day 2 though? Would they invade again? That's it.
Yeah, I mean, is that that's probably all they're going to do, and the only reason why they're reaching back to it is so that they can make what's that stuff that with Abraham Lincoln's face on it?
Money.
Money. Thank you.
Come back to the same old thing.
And that's a sad thing. I think that any film that is there to just make money is just not worth.
And that's why we're saturated with so many alien abduction films now, because they started to make money. So we've got so many of them now. Like the most recent one, there's like a few ones. There's like Alien Abduction last year. I think it was based, or it was just called Abduction. I can't remember.
Yeah, there's Alien Autopsy. They've got of course it's transcending all different genres now.
Yeah,
Fourth Kind.
The fourth kind was interesting in the fact that you were allegedly seeing the real footage of what happened, and then the actors' interpretation of the real footage that happened. But the real footage is actors, and then actors acting what actors have already done.
Yeah, so it's nice to see the reconstructed version.
It was just strange, yeah, and I suppose I'd never seen that before. But there was really nothing different. We've not really discussed it, but they always have the hypnosis. They always get put under hypnosis, and they experience what they've been throughout hypnosis.
Communion did a lot of that, the hypnosis thing. And to be honest, there's only so much of watching actors lying down going, oh, I'm convulsing, by the way. This is radio, not a
Well, I think in the fourth kind, at one point, he starts floating. I think he levitates.
Yeah, they have to, because the producer's saying, there's nothing happening in this movie. Make him float.
Yeah. And that's what...
They're watching Dave Letterman and they're playing Will It Float on one of those little game things that they do. Is this stone going to float or is it going to sink? I want you to make something float in this movie.
Letterman's doing it, you got to do it.
Yeah, come on.
Look, think of my bank account.
Yeah, so I think it's pressure.
And that's the thing, though.
Same with Poltergeist.
Because I don't think there's ever really been a great alien abduction film. I don't.
I am totally with you on that.
And I think I'm still waiting for it.
I think we're still going to make it.
Yeah, I think we should. Because, again, it's everything's going to be on your face and scary and jumpy and... Like, Dark Skies.
Okay, we haven't talked about this yet. This is highlighted.
Yeah. Now, Dark Skies, I thought the first time I watched it was okay.
Yeah.
I've watched it a few times afterwards. It's not.
And it's lost its...
Because, again, what they could have done with it is it being creepy and little things are starting to happen and it's a bit... And you let the tension build. But they're not allowed to do that with films anymore.
No.
She's got to hear something run into a room and all of a sudden you see an alien just over a child and then she screams, switches lights on and it's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to have that because we need jump scares now.
Yeah, exactly. You need jump scares and accidental jump scares as well. I mean, there's a lot of those in every film. Everybody has to jump out. Usually you have the two main characters and there's like they get the sense that something is a little bit creepy going on in the house.
Yeah.
One of them has to do a Eon the 3 scare. Yeah. Just for the sake of it.
But what I thought was interesting with Dark Skies is he's out of work, he's trying to find a job, they're really struggling with money. So that was a pressure, and then things start happening to the kid. And they're trying to deal with the fact that they've got no money, they can't make ends meet, and the kid's going crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
And he looks like he's self-harming, and everyone thinks that it's the family that's harming the child, but it's not, he's been abducted.
So more, it's about the pressure that's building on the family, and that is the one thing that drives this film and makes it interesting.
It does, till about halfway through. Then all of a sudden, we don't have to worry about the money anymore. We don't know why. He's got a job, but he doesn't seem to have done any work. But they're not worried about money anymore. And now they go and see J.K. Simmons, who's this UFO expert.
He was good.
He's good in everything, isn't he?
I know, but I'm just starting to realise he is the new J.T. Walsh. He is the new J.T. Walsh.
Yeah, J.T. Walsh. Yeah.
He was the guy who has always played despicable characters or characters that you can, but you just can't wait to see what he does.
What do you remember him in the Spider-Man film?
Barely get a glimpse of him. Oh, what is he, shy? If we can get a picture of Julia Roberts in a thong, we can certainly get a picture of this weirdo. Put an ad on the front page. Cash money for a picture of Spider-Man. He doesn't want to be famous, and I'll make him infamous.
He was the...
Yeah.
He was just amazing. Yes. Those scenes with him in it were the best scenes.
It was like watching the comic book coming out. He played that. Yeah, and I think he is the brand new Hollywood gift.
Yeah.
They needed him. They need him desperately to be good in these films, and he's doing well.
Yeah. Like I say, he was good in that, but they could have. It was building so well. And that's why the film's such a disappointment, because in the end it sort of turns into Poltergeist, but with aliens in a house.
But most films do that. They do the Act 3 thing where the writer has gone so far as to set the tension up, set the characters up, set the scares up, and they're either getting pressure to say we need more scares at the beginning, not at the end. And when they get to the end, they realise that they've already used all their scare juice, and then they have to go into the extraordinary realm of believability. Poltergeist was just like that. I mean, as soon as you start seeing skeletons and things that just kind of just come gushing out with huge arms.
Yeah.
You're not watching a poltergeist movie.
No, you're not.
I've seen the new trailer for the poltergeist movie, the new one. Same thing. Too many. What do you call them? Floating apparitions that are not poltergeists.
Well, that was the thing, because Poltergeist, I like it. It's a great film.
It's a great film. I love it.
But you were just saying, it shouldn't really be called Poltergeist.
Yeah,
it should be Poltergeist with ghosts and monsters.
Yeah,
subheading. There's Poltergeist in the beginning.
Exactly. I mean, the documentary, The Enfield Poltergeist, is probably the best thing you can watch, and I wish that they'd make a film of that, but stay true to it. Let's have Channel 4 make a film like that, or get Chris Jones, who actually has made a realistic ghost story, urban ghost story, about a girl.
That's
who
a really
has
good film.
Have you seen Urban Ghost
Connery's
Story?
son's in it.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a really good film.
Those two made a film that was honest and true about an experience of how somebody who has basically had a near-death experience come back and is basically in there.
Yeah, it's the boyfriend dies, doesn't he? And
she dies,
and the boyfriend's coming back.
Yeah, and that's it. It's
one of my favourite jump scares in any film is in that.
Yeah,
you remember when she?
I
think it might be a cabinet or something where something takes her. Anyway, she's got a cabinet against the wall, and something takes her attention away. So she looks at someone. She looks back. The cabinet is just right next to her face. And it's done so well. Yeah. God, I jumped. Even the three big stars. Like, fuck yeah, I'm not expecting that.
I'm so glad you've seen that film because, and you know of the Chris Jones, I can't remember her name, but they were boyfriend and girlfriend, a couple at the time. They're guerrilla filmmakers.
Right.
They make films without a budget. That was exactly one. That was just one of them.
Just shows what you can do. You get a few cameras, you got the right ideas.
Exactly. And we forgot to mention, when we reviewed Starry Eyes and The Honeymoon.
Yeah.
Starry Eyes was actually one of our favourite films of those films that we reviewed.
Yeah.
It was made for $35,000, crowd-funded, no production, and no actual box office records exist for that film. It was released for festivals. It was not distributed worldwide. It was a little film made with little money, but art thrives on restrictions, people, and this is what I keep on saying.
Yeah.
That it's the little money that goes a long way. We should be really good then. So Dark Skies, were you okay with that film?
To a point.
Yeah.
I thought the setup was great, and then they had ideas to explore that they just sort of forgot about halfway through. I love the idea that they're struggling with money, they can't make ends meet, and all of a sudden things are starting to happen with the kid. It's great.
Yeah, and then the twist at the end being that it's the other kid, not the kid that they thought it was.
Yeah.
That they were interested in. That's okay. I was.
And the end, the kid's just gone, isn't it?
Just gone, and that's it. Yeah.
So I suppose that's quite a brave ending. You don't get the typical Hollywood ending where everything turns out rosy.
There's a walkie-talkie that starts because they have that motif of the. It's a good setup. They kept that setup and they paid it off at the end, which is very good. So stylistically, maybe a little bit over the top, trying to do something that they didn't need to do. They could have just pulled it back a little bit, but strong performances still. Kerry Russell did all right.
She did, yeah.
She's just Felicity, though. I always look at her and think,
who's the husband? I forget the actor's name now.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I didn't mind him too much either.
I thought he was the guy from Parenthood, but yeah,
no,
he looked very similar.
No, he's got a face that I must have seen many times. I just can't pinpoint his name, but yeah, I thought everyone in it was good.
Yeah, they did well with what they had, but
it just suffered from producers saying we need more. Pressure.
Need more. I can smell it. I can smell that money that they needed to burn off, and of course, you can see that they spent millions on that movie. Not really,
but it did really well.
Yeah, it did well, and I think it. When you told me that that it was a good idea to watch this film, just in case we got abducted by aliens, and we actually did a podcast on alien abduction films. I thought it was this old series
There was an old series called Dark Skies, though, wasn't there?
Exactly, and I thought I thought there was like a TV movie back in 1987 that I'd missed. And I was searching for it. Incidentally, I did find Extraterrestrial was that other movie that we thought that we wanted to watch.
Right.
I paid for the wrong version, and I got a Spanish film from 2011 called Extraterrestrial.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the copy that I had, it didn't have English subtitles because it was Spanish. So I had to learn Spanish really quickly, and I got as far as the fact that the guys wanted to calculate it so that he could calculate how big the UFO was outside his window, and then the rest of the film was just a drama about people.
Okay.
And it was not.
You just reminded me of one of my favourite scenes out of Close Encounters.
Was the calculator scene?
No,
No.
When he stops at the crossing and he lets that car go by and he's reading his map.
Such a clever thing.
Yeah, and then obviously the car flips, but that's all brilliant. But I love it when it all goes quiet and he looks up, you just see this gigantic ship just floating silently in the sky.
Exactly.
It's such a great
Close
moment.
Encounters did the right thing. I think it did everything. I mean, the scares were perfectly balanced. The acting was superb. The production value was epic.
Yeah.
And I use that word because it really was very well. You know, it was very wide, very big scope. It affected the world, and it was all there.
I've said this before, but in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, when he goes to see the rich businessman who wants him to... Is it Temple of Doom? It's not Temple of Doom that I'm thinking of, is it? I think it might be Last Crusade. Anyway, he goes into a room, it has a massive chandelier in this room, and it looks like the ship out of Close Encounters.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the model they've used, or maybe
clever.
Maybe I have to look it up. But...
That's just Spielberg having way too much money and too much time to play with things.
Yeah.
He probably got a lot of eager kids to kind of recreate it for free, you know. Bloody fingernails and bloody... Poor buggers.
So...
But you know what? I missed an opportunity. I got made redundant from my job too early because I was scheduled to go to Fargo on my third visit to Fargo.
Right.
And I was scheduling a 8-hour journey from Fargo through South Dakota to Devil's Tower.
Oh.
I actually had a journey planned, and I missed out.
Imagine doing a podcast from Devil's Tower.
Oh man,
gotta do that.
But it's you know, it's pretty. There's something about it. One day I will be there. Maybe we'll land there when we finish here.
Maybe they'll drop us off. So, in conclusion, alien abduction films.
There hasn't really been a really good one yet.
No, we need one. We need a really good one that sort of deals with the subject matter correctly.
Yeah, but subverting the whole expectations of all the different idioms and tropes that you would come to expect from. It's okay. What's going on?
We're back home.
That was weird.
We're right back in the garage.
That was...
Cats are okay.
Look at the time. You got here exactly at 10 o'clock. And it's still 10 o'clock. How much time has been... We've got 1 hour 22 here. Unedited.
So
we've actually lost...
We've not lost.
We've gained...
We've gained time.
Gained time? Whoa. Wow.
Well, I suppose we better finish it there.
We'll finish it there. I think we got
to think about what's just happened and...
No, I think we should just go on ahead and just do another podcast.
Okay, then.
Well, okay. Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, it was nice. I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah, well done, you. Very good.
Nice.
You know, I want to take this opportunity to let the people know how they can contact our friends at Frame by Frame. They do that podcast
You
thing.
know those two guys, yeah, they do the podcast, okay? So
they're nice. They're like a forest, which is a beautiful thing.
Exactly. And so if you want to do the communicating thing, you know, the social networking
thing.
Yeah, you can tweet those guys at Frame by Frame 78. If you'd like to go to the website, that will be www.roastedportions.com.
You don't need to do the www. It's implied that it's going to be the World Wide Web.
But people need to know that.
Okay, just go to roastedportions.com, okay? You go down on the right-hand side, you've got the social connections. You can talk to the people who do the show. You can even talk to the people who made that movie, you know, CACO3.
Who'd want to talk to those mooks?
I don't know, they made a pretty interesting movie, right?
Well,
it was in black and white.
Yeah, black and white. I like that.
We like black and white, and there was also some trees in that movie, too.
Oh, trees. It's like being in a forest, which is a beautiful thing.
Other connections, you can really get to know these people on YouTube as well, and if you want to comment on their podcast, I urge you to do that. Okay?
Yeah, I think it is a proper, really nice thing if people want to start contacting these guys.
Subscribe to them and comment. I mean, it's just polite, you know.
Also, you can email them at framebyframe78@gmail.com.
That's it. I think that's everything wrapped up, so.
Hey, I'm gonna go and plant a tree somewhere.
Okay, you go plant some trees.
I'm gonna go plant a tree.
I'm gonna go tweet.
You tweet, I'll plant a tree.
It's us. We're out of here.